Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Watch TV with me. Today is kind of a dark one. Um, it is called The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez or Gabriel Fernandez. Um, I love crime documentaries. Um, this one, I'm glad I watched it, but I will warn you that it's very graphic. Um, as an uncle, it was hard to watch. So I can imagine that if you're a parent or a grandparent, I would imagine a human being in general, it would be difficult to watch. Um, but it's about a little 8-year-old boy, or actually she was 7 at the time. Er, uh, Gabriel Fernandez. This is in LA County in Los Angeles. Um, he lives with his mother and her boyfriend. And there's a call to 911 late one night, basically late at night, early in the morning. And a 911 call from the mother saying that the son isn't breathing. They try to say that he fell while taking a shower or something like that. But anyway, they get to the ER. You do see pictures and things like that, but this poor kid, it's unfathomable what this kid went through. I mean, cigarette burns, skin missing off his face, marks where it looks like he'd been tied up and handcuffed, and raw, just his skin is just raw. Like I said, cigarette burns, defense wounds. He'd been shot with BB guns, like a BB gun, like more than once. I mean, this kid had been tortured and abused for a long, long time. And, you find out that the elementary school, his teacher had made complaints to, Child Protective Services. The police had been called out there numerous times. CPS had been called to the parents' home numerous times. And it's like all these people like took the parents' word for what was going on. It was like, I don't know. We failed this kid. Society failed this kid. The LA County failed this kid. Everybody just failed this kid. It's horrible, horrible. But he ends up dying at 8 years old. And anyway, so you learn this horrific way he was tortured and murdered. And then it goes on to, we find out that, all of the Child Protective Services workers, like the social workers, they actually, LA County the LA District Attorney brought up charges against the social workers because this kid just kind of got lost in the system just because there was like no algorithm to say, this is what you do next. This is this child's high risk, and they were told, the last ditch effort is to remove the child from the home. And, so I don't know. And the other thing is that this mother and this boyfriend should win Oscars, Emmys, and Golden Globes because they gave tremendous performances to, these government officials like law enforcement and the social workers and stuff because, I mean, this poor kid, I can't, like I said, I can't imagine. And, but anyway, you will want to watch this documentary. It's really good. If anything, it'll get you fired up and it'll get you to pay attention to things we should pay attention to. It really made me do some research on, and I signed some petitions and things like that in memory of Gabriel Fernandez, because the system is still broken. There's still, even after he was killed and his mother and stepfather were sentenced, not even like a year later, another kid dies. Same thing. At the hands of the mother and the mother's boyfriend. And, you know, crazy. And this Fernandez, excuse me, Gabriel Fernandez. Another thing is that, you know, his stepdad would call him gay. I guess he was kind of like a softer kid, and you know, he liked to play with his sister a lot. And anyway, they had dresses that they would put him in, and they just, you know, and so, you know, they even considered filing like hate crime charges because, you know, there's a strong possibility this kid might have been, you know, either trans or gay when he got older. You know, he was kind of, you know, I don't know. But anyway, it's a really interesting story, and you know, the thing that pissed me off the most was that you know, the boyfriend, thank God, the boyfriend gets the death penalty, which, you know, I don't know where I stand on capital punishment most of the time. Like, most of the time I think, who are we, you know, to put somebody to death? But if there is ever anything I've ever heard of where somebody deserved the lethal injection, it was this guy. It was this boyfriend and this mother. But the thing that sucks and the thing that peeves me off to no end is that the boyfriend, he gets the death penalty. Well, then after his stuff is decided, then the mom comes and she's all like, oh, and I'm sorry, and I shouldn't have done this, and I hope my children will forgive me, and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, looking like a mess. I mean, she is just a mess. You can tell that she's a POS. I mean, total piece of trash. And just, you know, and the bad thing is that he had a brother and a sister, too, that were, you know, and the brother and sister, I guess, were fine. It was only this kid that got picked on. So the brother and the sister are totally traumatized too, you know. But anyway, the mom ends up getting life in prison without the possibility of parole. Hello? I mean, seriously? She was his mother. She was his flesh and blood. And she watched this whole thing happen. If anybody deserved the death penalty, it was that bitch. She deserved to die. She deserved to die before he did. Because she is his flesh and blood. She is his mother. That just blew my mind. Now, don't get me wrong. They both deserve to die. They both deserve the death penalty. I hate it that it's the lethal injection and that it's fast. Oh, God forgive me. I try so hard to be Christ-like, but I watch shows like this and I think, ooh, I would love to just hire some people to go in there and just beat the piss out of all of them. Yeah, because it'll make you mad. It's sick. It is sick. But this poor kid, you know, God love him, you know, is out of his misery now, and I know that he's in a better place, and, you know, but, you know, God, I just can't imagine. You know, I could tell you more things about this story, but I don't want to give it all away because you just need to watch it. I've watched lots of child abuse documentaries, like, where, you know, popular, like, I shouldn't say popular, but like, you know, high profile cases like JonBenet Ramsey and, you know, people like that, you know, high profile murder cases or abuse cases. And, you know, you watch those and you think, you know, but seriously, like this one is, it's way up there. It's way up there. I mean, I just cannot believe that human beings could be so cruel, especially to your own child. To a child at all, but to your own child, to your own flesh and blood. It's sick. It's sick. I really hope, even though she got life in prison with no possibility of parole, I really hope that she is just haunted. I really hope that she is haunted. I really do. Because she deserves it. But anyway, definitely, if you like crime documentaries, if you're a social worker, if you work for Department of Family Services, law enforcement, emergency medical services, you know, everybody that, you know, that's exposed to child abuse cases should watch this because you will learn so much. You know, as a former EMT, And as somebody who's worked in the medical field for years, I learned a lot by watching this, and I will be way more aware in the future and look for things, look for signs and but yeah, this is a really, really smart documentary. It's done very tastefully considering the graphic nature of the documentary. So yeah, the Trials of Gabriel Fernandez, and it's on Netflix. And until next time, remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. Be blessed.